over on YouTube. Now, before I continue with this game, I actually want to address those of you who are watching this on YouTube right now. I can't believe I'm actually saying this, but I want to express a huge thank you because my most recent video at the time of streaming this did so well. I just couldn't believe it. Because usually I have to be lucky if any of my videos get into the 2 digits when it comes to views. So having a video just blow up and get be I don't even know what to say. Having a video just blow up and surpass 100 views within 1 day, it's just something I didn't expect. I really didn't expect that to happen, like, ever. And, well, having this happen now, I still can't believe it. Within a day, it has surpassed 100 views and has not only become my most viewed, but also my most liked video. Which still isn't a lot, but for me it is a lot. Like, 5 likes might not seem like a lot to most people, but for me, that's, well, 5 more than I thought it would get. So, I really appreciate everyone for checking it out, and I really appreciate it. Now, the comment section did turn out to be rather empty, which is sad, because I kind of have a request in there. So if you don't know yet, please check out the video released before this one. There's a little question I asked in the comments, and I would like to hear some feedback on that. If I don't get any feedback, then I'm just gonna try to decide by myself. Now, that being said, I think it's finally time we start playing this game, because that's what you're here for. Let's see. So we're on the Yuri route, so let's see what we can do. I think she likes clouds. Natsuki likes clouds, okay, didn't think that would happen. Sensation. Sunset. Damn it. Unending. There we go. Misfortune. Damn it! Okay, I need to be more cautious. Entropy. Portrait. Contamination. Crimson. Philosophy. Now I'm on the right path again. Covered. Climax. Unstable. Massacre. Misery. Damn it. The spot seemed so nice, but then it didn't work anymore. Unrestrained. Frightening. Tenacious. Infallible. Intellectual. Alright, I think I did pretty well. Alright, now let's get back into the game. And hooray, I just realized that I'm gonna have to do voices again. Just a few days ago, I never would have thought that I'd look forward to an extracurricular so much. But here I am, back for another club meeting and anticipating new antics from everybody. The usual scene awaits me as I step into the club room. Oh god, what voice did she have?
Hi, Code!
Hey, Sayori. Looks like you're in a good mood today.
I'm just still not used to you being in the club, that's all.
Is that so? Well, it's nice to see you so cheery. Anyway, what's new?
Oh, I've got some exciting news!
What's up?
Did you know that the student store sells that brand of strawberry milk now? I saw when I passed by on my way here.
I should have known better than to expect actual news from Sayori. I don't think I've tried that yet. I don't know, strawberry milk is usually too sweet for me.
What? But it goes great with melon bread.
Sayori, you could eat a packet of raw sugar and you'd still say it's not sweet enough.
Hey, that's an exaggeration. Seriously though, it goes really well with bread. The milk is sweet, but it still has that unique, tart strawberry flavor that's eased by the richness of the milk. And when you pair that with fresh bread, the sweetness is spread out even more, so that it has just the right amount of flavor.
Wow. When did you become Gordon Ramsay? Seriously? Okay, sure. When did you become Gordon Ramsay?
I'm a food expert, so you should trust me on this.
I mean, given how many snacks you eat every day, I don't doubt that you know your food well.
I'm gonna take that as a compliment, you meanie.
So I'm a meanie for giving her a compliment.
Anyway, aren't you hungry now? Talking about food always makes me hungry.
Now that you mention it, maybe a little.
Great, let's go to the student store and buy some snacks together then.
Now I see what she's playing at. We're gonna skip this, right? We're not gonna actually go with her because I am supposed to be hanging out with Yuri right now. I raise an eyebrow and Sayori notices.
Code, why are you looking at me like that?
Well, Sayori, I have a nagging suspicion that you're only trying to convince me to come because you don't have any money. And you just want me to buy you a snack.
What? I would never do that.
Oh really? Then let's see your purse.
Huh?
Your purse. Let's see it. Sayori laughs awkwardly as she pulls out her purse. She opens it and dumps its contents onto the desk. 2 small coins fall out. So one thing I've noticed that changed here is that we're not going to the vending machine. We actually get specified, we actually get more specification as to where we're going, and I think in the original it was just, let's go to the vending machine or something. What is it? Tisk, tisk, tisk. Nah, let's keep going. This little ruse might have actually worked had Sayori not pulled it on me numerous times when we were younger. The amount of times she managed to trick me into buying her another ice cream. I guess some things never change. Nice try, Sayori.
Huh? No fair, how did you know?
Now wouldn't you like to know? Let's just call it intuition. In response she sticks her tongue out at me. Typical. Oh god, now I get to... Come on, get into the voices again. Yuri suddenly giggles. Huh? I didn't notice she was eavesdropping. Looking over in her direction, I catch her peeking over the top of a book.
I wasn't listening or anything. It was just something in my book. Yuri! Take her to let me borrow some money. That's none of my business, Sayori. Besides, you should only buy what you can responsibly afford. It's shameful to manipulate people into doing or buying things for you.
Wow, isn't that a little harsh? I'm only messing around with Sayori after all.
Did I just... I didn't mean that. That came out much harsher than I intended. Sorry, I just... well...
Yuri blushes in embarrassment, looking away from us while playing with a strand of her hair.
I apologize for how I've been acting lately.
It looks like she might be a bit ashamed of how she acted yesterday.
You know, it's okay to be honest sometimes. You shouldn't always keep things that bother you to yourself. There's no way you could think that after... You were right though. I shouldn't trick people into buying me things.
Funny how your 10-year-old self didn't see it that way. Yuri lets out a small laugh, covering her mouth with her hand. Even the way she laughs is so shy and proper.
Is this mischievous behavior something Sayori used to display as a child then?
Oh yeah, although back then I fell for it time and time again. You wouldn't believe how much candy Sayori managed to con me out of.
Ah, don't make me sound so sneaky, Code. Although those candies were so good. I'm surprised, Sayori. Coming from you. I guess there's a little devil inside all of us, isn't there?
Well, hopefully not in this mod. Oh god. Gotta go very silent here.
What's going on here?
Oh, nothing much. Sayori here was just up to some mischief.
Oh?
Yeah, she tried to trick me into buying her a snack.
Hey, that's not true.
Monika smiles wryly and turns towards me.
I'm assuming this isn't the first time.
Well, you'd be right. We all share a little chuckle at that. Well, everyone except Sayori does.
Hey, you guys are being really mean.
Okay, we're sorry. But did you bring this upon... But you did bring this upon yourself.
Yeah, I know. But in my defense, I am really hungry. Well...
Oh god, Natsuki's voice. Natsuki chimes in.
If you're really that hungry, you can have this if you want.
She offers up a giant cookie wrapped in plastic. Sayori immediately snatches it out of her hands.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Sayori hugs the cookie. Jeez, just eat it. Oh, she didn't get slapped in the face by the cookie this time. Sayori rapidly tears open the wrapper and takes a huge bite.
So good.
Sayori suddenly clasps her hands over her mouth.
I bit my tongue. You're going through a lot over just one cookie.
Natsuki takes a bite of her own cookie.
Yours looks really good. Yours looks really good too, Natsuki. Can I try? Jeez. Beggars can't be choosers. But yours is chocolate. Yeah? Why do you think I gave you that one? Fine. Still, I'm really happy that you shared this one with me.
I'm in pain. I shouldn't have chosen a game with so many female characters. Sayori gets out of her seat and goes behind Natsuki, then wraps her arms around her.
Ah, jeez. I get it.
Cookie still in the hand, Natsuki reaches up to nudge Sayori off of her.
Oh.
Sayori suddenly leans down and takes a bite out of Natsuki's cookie.
Hey! Did you seriously just do that?
Mouthful, Sayori trots away to safety. Yuri, Monika and I laugh as well.
Jeez, you're such a kid sometimes. Monika, can you tell Sayori to quit taking my stuff?
Oh, right. Right. In the original game, Monika wasn't here for that, right? I think. Right? Yeah, I think in the original game, Monika wasn't here for this interaction.
Sayori, you know you shouldn't do something like that without permission.
Monika scolds Sayori.
I know. I'm sorry, Natsuki. That was so good. Hey!
Everyone but Natsuki chuckles. These things happen a lot, Monika?
A little bit too much, to be honest. Don't worry, it's all in good fun. Good fun is teasing each other from time to time, not stealing food. Oh, calm down. It's no big deal.
Now I think that my Monika voice and my Yuri voice sound very similar. Oh god. Natsuki pouts in her seat. Everyone calms down and quickly returns to their normal activities. Sayori has already managed to finish the entire cookie. Meanwhile, Natsuki gets up and heads for the closet, and Yuri's already lost in her book. More Yuri time, here we go. Hello, Yuri.
Oh. Hello, Code.
Yuri places the book she was reading down on her desk. I'm not interrupting you or anything, am I?
Oh, not at all. Are you hoping to continue reading together?
Well, yes, actually, would that be alright? And thank you very much for the follow, Memes22. Thank you very much, I appreciate it. Thanks for coming by, thanks for the follow. How's it going? I'm just here, continuing on some modded DDLC. Where was I? Well, yes, actually, would that be alright?
Oh, of course. Before we get started, would it be alright if I made some tea?
You wanted to hear some screams? Screams as a response to getting a follow, or screams in response to the game? Because I'm not sure if this modded version has that many scares in it. I know that there are bad endings. Hi bye, Chicken Nugget Man 254. Thanks for stopping by, even if only for a moment. But yeah, I'm not sure if this modded version has too many scares. After all, it's in response to the game, yeah. After all, it's supposed to be a lot happier, but I know that the first act is supposed to be very similar, and we're still in the first act. So as of right now, we're likely not gonna get many scares at all, if any, because even in the original game, the first act didn't have any real scares, other than, you know, the ending. That much I know. So yeah, it is modded. I have to admit that. I've played the original, this one is modded. I've played the original. This one is supposed to have more content. This modded version is supposed to add more content and oh god, another one. KTM 780? Is that correct? 780? Hi, welcome to the stream. But yeah, basically I haven't played this mod before. That much I haven't. And I know that there's a lot of new stuff in here and a variety of different endings. So I'm very curious. Also, if this has horror elements, which it might, I'm very curious to see them. But let's continue through Act 1, which is basically probably gonna be very peaceful. Now where was I? Right, sure, what do you have in mind?
Perhaps I could show you.
I'm still not very comfortable doing female voices, by the way. But I guess that much should be obvious. Yuri stands up and drifts towards the back of the room. She opens up the cupboard and retrieves a glass pitcher.
I'll just be a moment. Is that alright?
Yeah, take your time. Yuri turns to leave, but then suddenly wheels back.
Oh, I almost forgot. There's an electrical kettle in the cupboard here. Would you mind plugging it in for me while I'm gone?
Sure, see you in a bit. This time she leaves the classroom for real. She's nervously clutching the water pitcher, yet she still appears to make long, elegant strides. It's really quite astonishing to see. She almost looks graceful.
Oh? Where's Yuri off to? You didn't scare her away, did you?
What? No. At least I don't think so.
I'm just teasing you, Code.
Right. That's not really what I'd call a good joke, but I don't argue. Yuri wanted to make some tea, so she went to fetch some water.
I see. She's very proud of her tea set. Has she shown it off to you yet?
Oh? Not yet, no.
Maybe you should ask her about it. Tea is a big passion of hers, so I'm sure she'd be happy to talk about it a bit.
Yes, tea and knives. Those are her big passions, as far as I remember.
Who knows? Maybe it'll help you get a little closer to her.
Huh? Monica giggles.
I'm just messing with you again, Code.
At that moment, the door to the clubroom opens and Yuri walks back in with a full water pitcher.
Ah, speak of the devil. Well, I won't keep you any further. Have fun with Yuri.
Monica walks away and Yuri approaches me.
Is everything alright? I'm sorry for taking so long.
You're fine. Monica was just telling me about your tea set.
Ah.
A delicate smile plays across Yuri's face.
Yes. Would you like to see it?
Monica must have been telling the truth. She genuinely looks excited to share this with me. I'd be happy to, Yuri.
Code, do you like oolong tea?
I don't really have a preference. I'm sure whatever you give me will be fine.
Very well.
Yuri sets the temperature on the electric kettle at 200 degrees. She then begins maturing out tea leaves into a strainer. Monica wasn't kidding. You must really enjoy this, huh? Yuri smiles shyly, blushing slightly.
Yes. Besides reading, tea is a true passion of mine. A piping hot cup of tea alongside a gripping novel. Doesn't that sound wonderful?
Yeah, I guess it does. I have to admit it's kind of fascinating seeing you so exact with everything.
Tea is an art, Code. It's a delicate dance where each step must be perfect. Even the temperature of the water needs to be precisely 200 degrees.
Really? The tea I make, when I haphazardly plop a tea bag in boiling water, seems fine to me. But then again, I guess Yuri's making tea with higher grade ingredients. Once the water is boiled, Yuri adds it to the pot and carefully steeps the tea leaves. She hums to herself delicately and pours out a cup for each of us. It's nice seeing you like this.
What do you mean?
You just seem so relaxed, like you're in the zone.
I see. Expressing myself really isn't as hard as I thought it'd be. I'm glad I get to do this sort of thing with someone else. Especially someone as delightful as yourself, Code.
Huh?
I'm sorry if that sounded weird. I don't want to make you uncomfortable.
It's really okay, Yuri. I want to do all of this with you. It's kind of new for me as well. Maybe a bit of company will make it easier on both of us.
Yes. Thank you for being so patient with me, Code.
Yuri really doesn't have much self-confidence. The least I could do is let her be herself a little. Maybe over time she'll grow more comfortable around others.
Code, would it be okay if we sat on the floor today?
I don't see why not. Any particular reason? Why though?
I can rest against the wall and read instead of leaning over my desk. I often have back pain, so it'd be a little easier on me.
Oh sure, I don't mind.
Thank you. Sometimes it can be a real bother to have... that is to say, I am...
Based on how she's acting, I think I can guess what she might be referring to. But confirming that would probably make her feel even more embarrassed. You mean you have terrible reading posture, right? I can imagine hunching over your books like that so much is too uncomfortable.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say. So if we were to sit on the floor...
Yeah, that makes sense. Let me just get the book. I retrieve the novel alongside a small bag of chocolates. Yuri carries our teacups and places them on the ground, sliding down on the floor. Soon enough, the two of us are in the same position as yesterday, each holding one side of the story.
Would it be okay if...
Yuri shifts closer to me until our shoulders are touching. Her thick purple hair flops over my arm as she peers over the book. I think I like Yuri being a bit more assertive. Oh, references here.
Here.
Yuri reaches over with her free hand and presses... yeah, sure. Yuri reaches over with her free hand and presents me with my teacup. I carefully accept it, taking great care to avoid her chest as I do so. I slowly let go of the book and raise the teacup. Yuri subconsciously moves her hand underneath it to better balance the book between us. Her gaze is completely focused on the page below. It's almost as if you can see the story being scanned word by word in her eyes. As she continues, I take a sip from my teacup. It has a soothing floral flavor, and it smells wonderful. Yuri wasn't kidding, this really is quite relaxing. Once I finished my tea, I take a chocolate from my bag and fiddle with the paper. After I've clumsily disposed of it, I pop it into my mouth. I got some chocolates here, would you like one?
Oh, I appreciate the offer, but I don't want to accidentally get smudges on the page.
That's a good point. Sorry I hadn't thought of that. My bad.
Oh, it's quite alright.
I can hold the book for us if you'd like. There we go. Yuri grabs the other side of the book and holds it between us. Before I know it, she's transfixed in the story again. I don't think she's noticed, but her arm's resting on top of my leg. I take another chocolate from the bag and raise it up to Yuri's mouth. Without looking away, she parts her lips. I don't know if she even realized she's doing it, but she's expecting it now. I have to follow through. I timidly place the chocolate in Yuri's mouth. As she continues to read, she closes her lips around it. Huh? She looks like she just realized what happened. Oh god. That's why. That's why you gotta appreciate Yuri. What? Code? Yuri blushes deeply, looking up at me. Sorry. I wasn't really thinking. No. You were trying to make me feel more comfortable. Right? Suddenly I feel really nervous. Yeah. I just thought you might like some. Yes. If that's the case, then I wouldn't mind another. If that's alright with you, of course. And I'm not a banana for 20. Hi, what's up? Been a while, I guess. I don't think I've seen you around for quite a long time. How's it going? Totally. But yeah, I think really it has been a while. Thank you for coming to check out the stream today. I appreciate it. Okay. Back to the story. We gotta progress here. We're still in. You've been busy. I figured as much. Can't always have time to catch these streams. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. I'm doing fine. I've had some problems the last couple of days, where I was happy that the previous stream was relatively short because I've been dealing with very bad headaches, but I feel like they are pretty much dealt with now. So I can hopefully get into longer streams again. And yeah, but other than that, I think everything's doing except for the fact that I still can't talk properly, I guess. But other than that, everything's going pretty well. So yeah. Now let's get back into the game because we gotta make some progress here. Okay. Yuri tries to look back at the book, but I can tell she's unable to focus on it. I can feel my heart trying to beat out of my chest. Things have gotten really tense. I reach down and take another chocolate, but this time Yuri's eyes meet mine. Was this how things were supposed to go? Yuri doesn't look away. There's a soft pleading in her eyes as she blinks slowly. I raise my arm. Like before, Yuri parts her lips. Oh, this time it feels a lot more intimate. Her breath is gentle and warm on my fingers as I place the chocolate in her mouth. And there we go. Moment over. Okay, well, what do we have here? Yuri jolts back. Sorry, I didn't mean to make things awkward. We do need to share poems now, though. Is that okay? Yeah, of course. Great. Get things put away, and you can join us shortly. Yuri and I sit there dumbfounded. I guess I can take care of the teacups. Yeah. Yuri picks up the teacups from the floor. I pick up the bag of chocolates. Without another word, the two of us clean everything up. There we go. Monica ruins every moment here. Just like in the original. I don't know if either of us will have the courage to bring this up in the future. So who do we start with? We could start with Yuri since we just hung out with her. Or we could save her for later on and maybe start off with Monica to get some actual feedback. We could go with Natsuki, who'll probably absolutely hate what we've written today. Or maybe Sayori, who will basically be middle of the road, I guess. Nonetheless, we have to go through all of them anyway, so let's just You know what? I'm gonna start off with Monica because she interrupted us, and now I've never played this before. Well, I gotta tell you, it's an interesting game. This is a modded version of the game, so it's not the same as the original, but oh boy. As someone who's played the original, I can tell you that in the original, after you finish Act 1, things get really, really dark. That's why you gotta accept... Well, there's a warning when you first boot up the game, in case you don't know. And it basically asks you if you are at least 13 years of age, and that's very important, if you consent to the exposure of highly disturbing content. Now, I don't know if this modded version is gonna get really messed up after Act 1, but as far as I know, it's supposed to have a happier endings, where characters don't just die. So let's just pray that we can actually enjoy some time with these characters. So let's start off with Monica. Alright. Let me get into the voice here, which you can barely hear probably.
Hi again, Code. I'm trusting that the club's been doing you well.
Same answer as yesterday. I've seen memes. like the Sayori meme of hang in there, like that sort of stuff. Or the very popular, the just Monica. Those kinds of memes, I guess. Yeah, well, it's certainly interesting. Or Yuri's obsession with a pen. That's also one thing that I feel like many people have memed. Alright, same answer as yesterday.
That's nice to hear. So, how's the writing going?
Alright, I guess.
Just alright,
No, I guess I should say it's revolutionized my world and brought color into my previous lifestyle, into my previous lifeless life. Well, I say that, but the club, if not the poetry, really has made my days more interesting.
Okay. Can it with the sarcasm, mister. At least you're not hating it though, right?
Nah, it's been an interesting experience at least. Gives me a new hobby to do.
I'm happy that you're applying yourself at least. Maybe soon you'll come up with a masterpiece.
I wouldn't count on that.
You never know. Want to share what you wrote for today?
Sure, here you go. Who's your favorite? That's an interesting question. I've answered it before, but of the 3 girls you can actually go for, it's definitely Yuri, which is why we're going with the Yuri route this time. But then there's Monica. And if we're counting Monica as one of the options, which she normally isn't, then I have to say it's a very close call between Yuri and Monica. I can't really decide between those two. But I think I'm still gonna have to go with Yuri. Maybe. But it's a very close call for me. So yeah, that's my answer to that question. Right. Well, oh yeah, sure. Here you go. I give my poem to Monica.
Alright. I can see that you put some good effort there. Feels like you're not only getting more comfortable with your style, but the imagery is even better than the last one I read. It seems you've been finding more inspiration in Yuri's writing style too, right?
You could say that. Although it's more like I admire that kind of writing style in general, rather than Yuri specifically.
It's okay, Code. I won't judge if it's otherwise.
I don't know what you're thinking, but I'm sure that you're wrong. I should probably think of a way to change the subject fast. Anyway, about Yuri's writing style. What do you think about it? Given that I wrote in a similar style, I'd like to know your opinions on it in general.
Well, I guess I'd say that her poems are most romantic. But hold on, Code. Have you not seen her poem yet?
No, I haven't. Why?
Well, I think that the argument yesterday really got to her, to be honest.
Yeah, did kind of blow up.
So I really believe that Yuri is trying to reform herself by experimenting more and giving Natsuki style a try.
Really? Really? We're gonna see a Natsuki style poem from Yuri? Well, that's gonna be interesting. Yuri writing by using simple language. That's gonna be something else. That's kind of unexpected. I don't play Animal Crossing New Horizon. Don't have the game, but I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about getting it at some point. But even if I did play it, I couldn't really record it because I don't have a capture card, so... yeah, that's a thing. I hope to eventually get a capture card so I can record some Nintendo games. Because I feel like that would be a lot of fun. But right now, I'm limited to you know, PC gaming. But yeah, even if I have a capture card, I don't have Animal Crossing yet. And I have never played an Animal Crossing game. It's fun? Alright, I believe you. You know what? If I do ever end up getting a capture card, and this is purely theoretical, what if I start playing Animal Crossing New Horizon on stream and, you know, just stream my experience of my first ever Animal Crossing game? I feel like that could be interesting. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna wait until I have a capture card to start getting into Animal Crossing, so you can get my absolute first experience of to an Animal Crossing game. Alright, I'm gonna look into getting a capture card at some point, but it's probably gonna take a while, so I apologize for not getting to that so soon, but I'll look into it. Alright, now back to the game here. That's kind of unexpected. How's she changing up her poems? Alright, you can help figure stuff out. Well, in that case, I guess once I do eventually have a capture card, I'm gonna announce it right away. So that way, I'm maybe gonna make an announcement video, and probably the first stream after said announcement will probably be Animal Crossing in that case. Just so that if you really wanna help me figure stuff out, then you can actually just come by on stream. Alright.
Well, it seems like Yuri is paying more attention to rhyme and meter now. I don't think I really have to tell you this, but before she was really into free verse and less conventional devices. But now she's really going back to poetry's traditional roots.
I wonder what Natsuki thinks about this.
Have you seen Natsuki's poem today yet either?
No. Why?
Why don't you ask to see her poem yourself? But I don't think that Natsuki knows that Yuri is changing herself yet.
I see.
Honestly, I'm worried that Natsuki is going to do something she'll regret one day, that she can't take back.
That sounds really ominous.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring the mood down. It's just that the president's job is to worry about the well-being of the club members, you know?
Yeah, I get that. It's pretty responsible of you.
It's all part of the job. Anyway, back to Yuri's poetry. Although the literary devices that she incorporates are different, her overall themes and tones seem to still be similar. Her previous work actually reminded me a lot of the poet C.K. Williams' poems. Although she's departed from writing in a similar style. The depths of her themes aren't dissimilar. In Williams' later work, he wrote introspective poems that were very descriptive.
That does sound pretty familiar. Anyway, he's a pretty... There. Oh god, the constant back and forth is killing me as well.
Anyway, he's a pretty distinguished poet. So your takeaway message could be that this sort of style is pretty well liked. Well, you have to be a good writer too, of course.
Alright, thanks for the lesson today, Miss Monica.
I guess I do sound a little bit like the lecturer sometimes. If this style is popular, I guess I can start getting ready for fame and...
And now I'm... Concentrate. Look at the name before you start reading. If this style is popular, I guess I can start getting ready for fame and fortune. Monica rolls her eyes, although she can't suppress a smile from breaking through. But in the meantime, you wanna show me your poem now? I think it's about time we let your poem shine.
Sure thing, Code. I like the way this one turned out, so I hope you do too.
Alright, let's take a look. Alright, Monica's second poem, let's see. Pressurized. I float there, in vast hollow emptiness, large but small, grandiose and overwhelming. Yet a dust mote, drifting, meandering, carried along in endless void. But then I realize, my eyes open, bloodshot, my mouth opens, gasping for breath in this crushing, suppressing, restraining, boundless, everlasting, suffocating vacuum of torment. Deep poem. Atmosphere, Pascal tore, screaming with no mouth, stretching, restraining, unrelenting, clawing with no nails, disintegrating in a suffocating poem of absence. I mean, seriously, I kind of know that in the original game she also had some spaces in there, but if you just look at this page, as it is right now, that's a perfect poem in endless void. Should I have used a dramatic pause in here like read, carried along in endless void? Would that be better? Like dramatic pause to kind of mimic the gaps? I don't know. Well, it's definitely interesting, I guess. It's even more abstract than your last one, huh? Really freeform too, if that's what you call it.
I guess it's just the way I write. I'm sorry if you don't like it.
No, I never said that. 10 out of 10, I absolutely agree. Best poem in the game, we can already tell. It's just a kind of thing I've never really seen before, I guess. The other girls don't do this stuff nearly as much as you do, at least.
Yeah, you could say that they're a bit more traditional when it comes to their structure. I kind of like playing with my space on the paper. Choosing where and how to space your words can totally change the mood of the poem. It's almost like magic. The way I wrote the lines really short makes it feel like they're trying to speak over the noise. In fragments, everything and leaves a dissonant tone. It fragments everything and leaves a dissonant tone with the reader.
I see. I guess that there's a lot of things you can do with poetry.
Definitely. Poetry is very much an art form. You're meant to craft poems using never before seen combinations of words to interpret the world around you.
You really love poetry, huh? Maybe you should write a poem about poetry someday. By the way, I'm gonna ask this now since it's gonna take a while since there's a little bit of a delay. Any recommendations who we should go for next, or should I just, choose randomly pretty much? Or go with Yuri, since she's the one we're spending most of the time with right now anyway. Until I get an answer, I'm just gonna get through the rest of Monica's text and then we'll see. Maybe I should write a poem on poetry someday.
That's not a bad idea.
Anyway, it's still hard for me to tell what your poem's about.
Sometimes asking what a poem's about isn't the right question. A poem can be as abstract as a physical expression of a feeling, or a conversation with the reader. So putting it that way, not every poem is about something. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Are you ever too shy to share your writing because you're afraid it's not that good? Now we all had to experience that at some point with the poetry discussions and all. It can be really disheartening to get lukewarm response to something you put so much work into. If you find other people who enjoy writing though, then sharing becomes a lot easier. Because instead of just telling you that your writing is good or okay or bad, they want to focus more on everything that went into it, and the things you can work on. It's much more encouraging that way. It will make you want to continue improving.
Yeah, it definitely is more helpful than getting real criticism and feedback rather than just empty words. I guess I've really hit the mother lode with the literature club.
That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening.
Alright, let's see. Whom should I show my poem to next? So I think, I don't know who everyone... the pink-haired one, so we're gonna go with Natsuki. Oh great, yeah. Oh great, I'm gonna do the Natsuki voice again. Hooray. Get ready to be annoyed. And offended, potentially. Well, we are gonna get offended by Natsuki. And everyone else is gonna get really annoyed by the voice.
Well, it's better than your last one. But I still don't like it. It's trying too hard to be serious.
Huh? What do you mean?
Poems don't need cryptic and deep sound. They need to be cryptic and deep sounding to be good. It sounds super dumb if you don't suck at it. Honestly, don't try to write this until you're good, like on Yuri's level.
Oh god. Natsuki pauses, as if she just realized something.
Oh, don't tell me!
Hmm?
You're just writing this to impress Yuri, aren't you?
Well, I kind of am. That's the whole point of this run. We're going sorely for Yuri, and that's it. Don't worry, Natsuki, you can be my target on the next loop around. What? No, I'm not trying to impress anybody. I'm just writing. Yeah, right.
But writing exactly how Yuri would write. She would love crap like this. You know what? No!
Natsuki shoves my poem back at me.
I wanna do this with you anymore. If you wrote a poem for someone else, don't show it to me.
Well, that just happened. I guess this was destined to happen. I never really understood what Natsuki tries to get out of me. At least she wasn't the girl I was trying to impress. We're not even gonna get to read her poem. That's how horrible we did. Not even gonna get to read her poem. Well, we're gonna get to read it eventually, just not this time. Alright, then let's save Yuri for last, since she's our target. Save the best for last, let's go for Sayori. Yeah, she is angry. She's always angry. But this time more so than ever. Gotta make sure my voice doesn't die. Alright.
Oh! I really like this one, Code.
Better than yesterday's, huh?
Let me think. I don't know. I guess I like them both.
That's not very helpful, you know.
Sorry. I'm probably not the best person to get feedback from. Monica once told me it's impossible to really rate a poem because they're so subjective. So I just judge poems through my heart. I guess I look for how the poem makes me feel. I hope that helps.
Sort of. I guess some feedback is better than no feedback, right?
Right. Speaking of feedback, do you want to read my poem now?
Sure. Alright. Bottles. That looks like it's the same one as in the original game. I'm gonna read it anyway just to make sure. I pop off my scalp like the lid of a cookie jar. It's the secret place where I keep all my dreams. Little balls of sunshine, all rubbing together like a bundle of kittens. I reach inside with my thumb and forefinger and pluck one out. It's warm and tingly, but there's no time to waste. I put it in a bottle to keep it safe. And I put the bottle on the shelf with all the other bottles. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts, and bottles all in a row. My collection makes me lots of friends, each bottle or starlight to make amends. Sometimes my friend feels a certain way. Down comes a bottle to save the day. Night after night, more dreams, friend after friend, more bottles. Deeper and deeper my fingers go, like exploring a dark cave, discovering the secrets hiding in the nooks and crannies. Digging and digging, scraping and scraping. I blow dust off my bottle caps. It doesn't feel like time elapsed. My empty shelf could use some more. My friends look through my locked front door. Finally all done, I open up and in come my friends. In they come in such a hurry. Do they want my bottles that much? I frantically pull them down from the shelf, one after another, holding them out to each and every friend, each and every bottle, but every time I let one go, it shatters against the tiles between my feet. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts, and shards all over the floor. They were supposed to be for my friends who aren't smiling. They're all shouting, pleading, something. But all I hear is echo, 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 echo inside my head. Alright, it's the same. Sayori's still depressed. But I expected as much. Wow, Sayori. I didn't expect this at all. Did you really write this?
Of course I did. Remember, I said I'd write the best poem ever yesterday. Well, here it is. After all, Monica's taught me a lot. And I've been really in touch with my feelings recently.
So, that's what this poem is about? I suppose that much was obvious. Unlike Yuri's or Monica's poems, Sayori's are relatively simple to figure out. So, if I've interpreted this correctly, you're basically doing everything you can to keep your friends happy?
Yay, you got it! I really enjoyed writing this one. Just getting your thoughts out on paper and turning them into a poem. It's like magic.
Well, I think it's amazing. You should be really proud of it.
Thank you, Code. It means a lot. I didn't think it was that good, though.
Ah, it's great, seriously. I can't help but notice that the latter half of the poem isn't quite as cheery. In fact, it's somewhat alarming, a very dark contrast from the cheeriness I'm used to with Sayori. Although, maybe I'm looking into this a little much, but the end of this poem is pretty dark. And you said you've been in touch with your feelings recently, so I'm just checking, is everything okay?
Of course, silly. I forgot to tell you, I really like writing about bittersweet stuff. Stuff that isn't just happy or just sad. A mixture of the two. And this poem shows what I mean. Just my writing style.
Okay, that makes sense, I guess. Well, either way, I'm glad you're enjoying writing so much. I hope you keep it up. Good to have a hobby.
Of course, and hopefully you'll also stick with it. So I look forward to seeing all the poems you write in the future.
Oh, no guarantees there, but just from seeing the passion in Sayori's eyes, it's hard to be pessimistic. Alright, whom should I show my poem to next? Well, there's only one option, isn't there? Let's go for our main attraction here.
Let's see what you've written for today.
Yuri stares at the poem with a surprised expression on her face. Do you like it?
Code? I'm stunned. How is it possible that you're already this skilled at writing? It was but a day ago that I was trying to give you advice, and now you've already seemed to master it.
Perhaps you're a good teacher. I really took your advice to heart and tried to compose a great piece with that in mind. Yuri visibly swallows. She curls a slender lock of her hair around her finger, twiddling it nervously.
You thought of me?
Sorry, was that weird?
No, how do I word this?
It's fine, take your time. Yuri breathes and collects her thoughts. I know that Yuri likes to think before she speaks, so I offer that patience to her.
I'm not used to this sort of thing. Having someone value my opinion like that. I know it might sound foolish, but the fact that I was able to inspire you is incredibly humbling. And I suppose in a way, just makes me really happy.
Wait, surely you've shared your writing with others before, right? Yuri shakes her head. Seriously? You're really talented, so I would have thought you'd have shown your writing to others. I know. She really is a nice person. Yuri is a very nice person. She has her quirks, but overall, she's great. Like, you don't meet many people who are into collecting knives, but I guess everyone's gotta have a hobby. And, well, in the original game she gets really strange during the second act of the game. But during the second act everyone's kind of weird. So, it was no surprise that she got really weird too. Alright. Let's not get off topic too much here. You're really talented, so I would have thought you'd shown your writing to others.
I primarily write for myself, and besides, I highly doubt people would seriously enjoy my writing.
Do you really think that? Yuri nods solemnly. You really haven't shared it with anyone else? Not even your close friends? Yuri doesn't respond to that. I just did an oopsie. I wonder why. Don't wonder, please. Just makes it worse. Anyway, could I look at your poem now?
Yeah. Yes, of course. If you really want to see it.
Alright. So she supposedly wrote it a little bit more towards a simple style this time, and I can already see that she is actually rhyming this time. Alright, resist. A whimsical, tiny... Oh no. I can't read her handwriting, oh no. Whimsical, tiny... Cerise friend. Sleeps along with my amber bookend. Bah, now I can't even read normal words. Dreaming about a sanguine day. Wheeze, wizard, slender, lampposts play. She beckons me, her hand extends, piercing pupils, readily send. Azure channels bend and twist, cautiously held above the wrist. You know, last time I said her handwriting was okay, but this time I'm actually struggling, despite it probably being the same exact handwriting. Maybe my reading just got worse. However, she finds her advances shunned, always cracking, always stunned. Never able to draw the lance. Across my arms she's never danced. Perhaps it would be for the best if I laid her down to rest, whilst I haven't given in to painful pleading from within. I think that it might be smart to save the song fumbling hearts. Less leers make me dizzily fall, and answers her violet virulent call. Alright, there were a couple of words I just couldn't read. Maybe because I'm an idiot, maybe because I just suddenly have developed bad eyesight. I suck. Alright, let's get back into what Yuri has to say about her poem.
I felt a bit guilty after yesterday's argument with Natsuki. I wanted to experiment with my style a bit more. Hopefully it's not too confusing.
No, it's fine, even if it's a bit more involved than yesterday's, I still like it. I am noticing a lot more symbolism as well. I don't want to assume anything, but the tone of this poem, I am not sure how to describe it.
Yes. I really wanted to test my abilities in creative expression. I didn't go too far, did I?
No, it's really good. I just don't know if I'm good enough at this to deduce the meaning.
If I had to explain it, I'd say it's about a closely guarded secret. I imagine everyone has a little something like that, something they're forced to keep to themselves, for fear of ridicule. It's nice to be able to write about that sort of thing every now and then.
If it's something you enjoy doing, shouldn't you write about it more?
Well, it's not that simple. It's something I'm uncomfortable talking about. I'm not sure people would understand if anyone were to find out about it.
Well, I guess as long as it's not hurting anyone, people shouldn't pry.
Do you think so? Sorry, I just was thinking about something. It's a good point, though. The best I can do is try to embrace my own weirdness, right? Otherwise, I think I'd hate myself. Sorry to keep you so long. Thank you for allowing me to ramble. There aren't many people in this world like you, Code. When I share my writing with you, I feel like you genuinely care about what I have to say. It's nice having someone who listens.
That might be a bit much to say, wouldn't it?
It's just, I'm not really used to it. I rarely feel comfortable about my writing, let alone with the idea of sharing it. But with you, it just feels so easy. It's nice. Thank you for helping me with that, Code.
It's nothing, really. Yuri shows me a genuine smile. A newfound sense of self-confidence seems to sparkle behind her eyes, if only just for a moment. Alright, that was everyone.
Okay, okay everyone. We're all done reading each other's poems, right? Actually, Natsuki and I haven't shared yet.
Uh-oh, I can feel a storm coming on. Yuri hesitantly approaches Natsuki, who isn't meeting her eyes. Is she still angry with Yuri? It wouldn't be out of character for her to be. Although judging by Monika and Sayori's anxious expression, I feel like something else is amiss.
So, Natsuki, if I may?
How about we do this tomorrow instead? I'm not feeling well. It's my time of the month. Of course, because that's easier to say than to just share your poem, right? I practically see Monika internally face palming. Yeah. Much easier than sharing a poem. Natsuki must have forgotten that the club isn't all girls anymore. What? No what? You don't have to worry about that if you don't know. Yeah. Oh god. Well, good for me to know. Now I know when it is.
Ah, is that so? I'm sorry you must feel absolutely terrible if you can't even share your poem today.
You don't need to apologize, it's not your fault. I can definitely share tomorrow.
Ah. Well, if you aren't well enough to share your poem, would you like to see mine? I wrote it thinking of our argument the other day. I suppose that I wanted to show you that I'm more open-minded than I may have appeared.
I know, because what else? What other excuse? There was no other excuse you could give, right? Oh, I'm not feeling well, I had something bad to eat. Oh, I'm not feeling well, I have a terrible headache since this morning. No, it's my time of the month. That's the best excuse you could come up with. Because why not? What else would you say? Perfect excuse.
As a way of repenting. I know that it's not much, but hopefully this can contribute to a reconciliation between us. Although we may have our disagreements, I would like to consider you a friend. And friends forgive each other. I'm sorry if that's presumptuous of me to say. No,
sorry, her voice.
No, it's not presumptuous of you to say that.
And thank you for the follow. Graham is bad. Thank you for the follow, Graham is bad. I appreciate it. And thanks for coming by and checking out the stream. We just had a great moment. In case you didn't, I hope you didn't miss it, but it was perfect. Let's just say that. Alright, moving on.
No, it's not presumptuous of you to say that, because I'd like to consider you a friend too. So, can you hand over that poem then?
It's good to see that people are playing the game.
Oh,
really? So you're in touch with the developers of the mod? Really? Well, that's interesting. I actually... Wow. Seriously. Didn't expect that. As in... So you help program. You help program... Seriously. Wow, I can't... What? Thank you for coming by. Seriously. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting anyone to... anyone who worked on the game to come by. Natsuki and Sayori. Well, too bad I'm going the Yuri route, so... Sadly, I'm not going that direction this time. I plan to check out the other girls' routes as well. But from what I know, this game is supposed to be longer than the original, right? So it might take a while to actually get everything done. And speaking of it taking a while, I should probably continue. With a shy smile, Yuri hands the sheet of paper in her hands over to Natsuki. As Natsuki reads the poem, her eyes widen.
You You're writing usual rhyme and stuff? Like me? You could say that you convinced me to practice adding more lyricism to my poetry. Natsuki looks like she's speechless for once. Thanks, Yuri! It's awesome! There's really no need to thank me. Well, I'm really glad that I got to know you. I'll definitely have something that'll knock your socks off tomorrow. Then I'll be looking forward to that. I do hope that you feel better tomorrow as well, so that you could share your work with me then. Ha! Yeah, of course! That was a crisis and a half avoided. I'm really glad that Natsuki and Yuri worked things out, and it seems that Monika and Sayori feel the same way. It's good to see everyone getting along. Now that we are done sharing poems though, I have something to discuss with you all. There's a great opportunity for expanding the club that's coming up. Is this about the festival? You could say that. Do we really have to do something? It's only in a few days, so it's not like we'll be able to come up with anything good. Yes, that's something I'm concerned about as well. With such little time left to prepare, I doubt we'll be able to put together anything good. Good enough to attract new members. Yeah, we'll just end up embarrassing ourselves. Oh, don't worry so much. We're going to keep it simple, okay? Nothing more than a few decorations. I can design some pamphlets to hand out at the event. And so Yuri's made posters to put up around the school. Okay, that's great and all. But that doesn't tell us what we're actually going to be doing for the event. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. We're going to put on a poetry performance. What? Monika. Everyone's going to oh god, I lost my voice. Everyone's going to choose a poem to recite out loud. Doesn't have to be written by you as long as you put your heart into the recitation. Although, of course, it'd be great if you could show off your own work. And the cool part is, we're also going to let everyone else come up and recite their poems too. Yeah! Oh god. I put a thing on the poster that says, bring your own poems. Had to get stuff for your dog? No problem. I mean, I'm just glad that people are actually in chat. That's already more than I can say for some streams. And yeah, I'm still kind of blown away by the fact that someone who actually helped with this game actually decided to stop by on this stream. Really, I really appreciate it. Thank you again. It's gonna be so cool. Sarah pulls out a poster of her bag and holds it up for us to see. Are you kidding me, Monika? Don't tell me you already started putting those posters up. Huh? Well, I did. Do you really think it's that bad of an idea? Well, you didn't ask us before you started advertising. We never agreed to stand up in front of a bunch of random people and perform our poems. I agree with Natsuki. I could never, in my life, do something like that. Imagining it, Yuri shakes her head in fear. Guys! Yes, let's calm down and take a moment to think about it. I understand that you two haven't had much experience sharing your poems out loud. In fact, you all haven't done that much. But I still think we should try our best. Look around. Monika motions to all of us. We're all here because we have a passion for literature and this club. Don't you want to share that passion with other people? To inspire them to pursue their inner writer? Yeah! It's all about exploring yourself and trying new things, all while having fun. Monika and I nod our heads in agreement. Natsuki and Yuri, on the other hand, remain silent. I guess that means it's my turn to say something. I mean, I don't think it's that much to ask. As Monika said, we're all here because we care about the club and want to see it flourish. And if all that means is a 2-minute poetry performance, then I think we can manage. How long the stream go? Well, I think we're gonna do, once this day is done, we're gonna do one more day. Like 2 days every stream sounds like a decent bit of progress. So yeah, we're just
if we can't even make it through 2 days every stream, then this is gonna take forever. So, let's see how much longer this day will take first. But probably not much longer. We're pretty much at the end already, I think. Sarah and Monica's faces light up as I finish speaking. Hey, it isn't like we don't care about the club? It's just, do we really have to perform? You know how hard it is to get new members? It's because people are just narrow-minded jerks. They don't even give literature a chance. How many days total? I don't know. I don't know how many days total. Considering I don't actually know how many acts this game has, because the original had 3, 2 of which are like the normal routine. I need to remember how many acts how many acts on one day had, how many days one act had. Was it maybe 6? 5 or 6? Probably 6. 365, yeah, of course, a full year. We're gonna have a full year's worth of content here. Wouldn't that be nice? Who's to say this festival will be any different? I'm inclined to agree with Natsuki. I'm sorry, Monica. I know how much you want to do this, but I just can't imagine performing in front of a crowd of strangers. Well, at least Yuri and Natsuki have proven that they can agree on something. Monica sighs, her eyes closed as she rubs her temples. Look, guys, I know you're anxious. I understand that, I really do. To be honest with you, I'm a little bit nervous myself. After all, it's my club, so people are going to judge me most if our performance doesn't go well. Natsuki, if it makes you feel any better, a few of my friends will be coming along. They're lovely people. They won't judge you for your tastes. I've known them for a few years now, trust me. Natsuki half's turning away. She doesn't look particularly convinced. And Yuri, I know it's a scary thought, but I've thought of a way to ease you into it. Why don't we start by practicing our poems to each other in the club? No way! Monica, this is too sudden. Well, if you can't recite your poems in front of the club, how do you expect to do it in front of strangers? But Monica, there's just gotta be something else we can do. Yuri nods vigorously at Natsuki's words, anxiety written all over her face. But guys... No, said Yuri, it's okay. If you guys really think we can do better than a poetry performance, then I'd gladly go along with an alternative. So any ideas? An awkward silence fills the room. We all glance at each other anxiously before Sayori finally speaks up. Ooh, we could... Sayori stops and thinks to herself for a moment. Wait, no, never mind. That wouldn't work. Once again, the room falls silent. Well then, I guess we can come up with something different after all. Monica laughs, attempting to ease the tension in the room. I know you guys might not be the most on board with this idea, but I think it's our best option. Please, guys, please. Can you stop pressuring us? I'm honestly surprised Natsuki's putting up such a resistance. I knew she was a little hot-headed, but even still. I'm not pressuring you, Natsuki. Both of them have raised their voice. Yuri looks a little scared, and Sayori looks anxious to intervene. Guys, there's no more need to get angry. Can we just discuss this normally? Oh god, that sounded a little bit too much like Natsuki, didn't it? My voices are mixing up. Monica reflects on Sayori's words, looking a little ashamed of her outburst. Sorry. I didn't mean to raise my voice. It's just, this festival is important to me, that's all. Ever since I created this club, I've always wanted to show other people. Natsuki, Yuri, I imagine you were both a little apprehensive when Code joined, right? After all, he was an unfamiliar face. She smiles warmly at me. But look, he's integrating really well. He's made the effort to get to know us and our individual writing styles. She turns to Yuri. And Yuri, remember at the start when he asked you for a book recommendation? Yuri nods at Monica, shoots her a knowing smile. Must have been lovely being able to share a book you're so passionate about with a new person, right? Yes, it was quite enjoyable discussing it with you, Code. Yeah, likewise, it isn't something I'd normally read, so without you, it would have gone by unnoticed.
See, guys? Maybe we'll find more people who are just as into horror, Yuri. more like-minded people. Now come on, tell me that isn't an appealing idea. Yes, of course, but really my biggest issue is with the actual performance aspect of the festival. We should play some spooky games. I probably should. Well, again, I guess it's Spooktober, yeah. Speaking of games I should play, like on one of my recent videos, I just asked a question. Like, I can ask this question now as well. I kind of put together a list of games I could be playing as a secondary game. Like, one option would be no secondary game and just focus on the DLC. I had the option of Mustache, or maybe Genshin Impact. But since it's Spooktober, you're absolutely right that I should probably play some sort of horror game. Now the question is which one? I don't really have a wide selection of horror games that I own, so I would have to buy a new one. Especially since, you know, getting into a horror game that you've already played isn't as spooky anymore. I mean, I guess DDLC, the original DDLC is kind of horror, it's psychological horror. So, well, you could say I am playing a horror game, then again it's probably not horror anymore. But yeah, I should probably look into some sort of horror game to play. Well, like I said, it's a scary thought performing in front of a bunch of strangers. But trust me when I say, I have full faith in you, in all of you. Your poems are amazing, guys. I just know people will love them. It's almost criminal not to show them off. So what do you think, guys? For me? For us? Fine. I still don't think it's a good idea, but fine, I'll do it. Just stop guilt-tripping us. Thanks, Natsuki. And you, Yuri?
Oh my god, I need some water, hang on. There we go. Maybe Slender? Alright, maybe a good old-fashioned Slenderman game, eh? Among the Sleep. I know there's definitely some good horror games out there. I've never really gotten too much into horror games because I know I just shit myself, but I guess that's the sort of thing people would like to see, isn't it? The most horror, in big quotation marks, game I've actually played is Subnautica, and that's not designed to be a horror game, but I still almost wet my pants every single time I encounter Reaper Leviathan. More entertainment, yeah, more entertainment definitely from horror games. You know, but speaking of Subnautica, I could, like, once I figure out the controls for it, now I know the controls for base Subnautica, but for what I'm going to say, just hear me out. Once I do figure out the proper controls for it, I could start playing through Subnautica again, maybe even in hardcore mode, in VR. That would be terrifying, because I know that Subnautica has already scared me before, but if I actually feel like I'm properly in it, that's gonna scare the pants off of me. So that's also an option, I guess. Right, Yuri nervously glances at each of our expectant faces.
But, Monica, what if people start being inconsiderate and disturb us or laugh?
I am not surprised Yuri's worried about this.
Oh, don't worry. If anyone steps out of line, I'll put a swift stop to that.
She has a stern glint in her eye, and I have to repress a shiver. I am glad she's with us. Yuri looks somewhat relieved, but it's clear she's still worried. She swallows and nods.
I suppose I don't really have a choice, do I?
I shake my head.
Okay, I'll do it. Yay, that's everyone! You're the best, Yuri! This club is seriously going to be the death of me.
Hopefully not this time. Hopefully not this time. It was bad enough when you died in the original game. I don't want you to die again. I really hope she doesn't die. I really hope this mod doesn't contain any endings where the characters die. Because I don't like I don't like the thought of that. No more, please.
I know you'll do great, Yuri, just trust me. But anyway, let's move back onto the main event. While we have time, I want each of you to choose a poem of yours to practice reciting in front of each other.
Yuri and Natsuki exchange uneasy glances, but don't say anything. I just realized this day is gonna take a little bit longer, isn't it? I'm curious if we'll... Because I don't know if we're gonna make a second day today. Would be if this one day is already taking so much time. Well, we could start the second day and see how it goes. Also, Natsuki, I thought it was your time of the month. Why are you still here? Aren't you feeling very bad? Shouldn't you be, like, outside? Are you sure? I mean, if you can't even show your poem to someone, how do you expect to recite it now? Oh well, let's move on. Let's just ignore that.
Don't worry, I go first so everyone feels a little bit more comfortable. Can I go next? Of course. Now let's see.
Monika flips through her notebook searching for a specific poem.
Ah, here we are. The title of this poem is The Way They Fly. Ahem.
Monika begins reciting her poem. Her clear, confident voice fills the room. Her eyes move across the page in sync with her lips. Every word has the perfect amount of emotion put behind it, making the poem almost come to life. Her inflection is extraordinary. I'm impressed, and judging by a quick glance around me, so is everyone else. Well, see you later then. Take how much... see you later, alright. I don't know what else I was gonna say. I'm gonna keep going, so I hope nothing important happens while you're away. Sayori looks amazed. Yuri has an intense expression on her face that I don't understand. Even Natsuki's once sour attitude is replaced by awe. Finally, Monika finishes the recitation. The four of us applaud. Monika takes a breath and smiles.
That was so good, Monika! Thank you very much. I was just hoping to set a good example. Are you ready to go next, Sayori?
Yep! Sayori jumps out of her chair and takes Monika's place at the front of the room.
This poem's called, how did you do it so easily, Monika? Well, try to imagine you're alone, like you're reciting it to yourself. It's your poem, so it'll come out the best that way.
Oh, I think I get it. Sayori nods to herself.
Anyway, this poem's called My Meadow.
Sayori begins reciting her poem. It seems as if her soft voice is a perfect match. And welcome back. Didn't miss anything really. We're just getting into the next poem now. As for the poem itself, also we're not even gonna get the poem. We're just gonna get a description. As for the poem itself, it has a similar tone when compared to her other ones. It's peaceful yet somber at the same time, bittersweet you could call it. Hearing the poem in Sayori's voice almost gives it an entirely new meaning. I think this is what Sayori means when she says she likes my poems. It's like seeing a whole new side of someone you thought you knew completely. Sayori finishes and we all applaud.
I did it! Yep, good job.
Sayori beams as she walks back to her seat.
So who'd like to go next?
Natsuki, Yuri and I all look at each other nervously. I open my mouth, but Yuri beats me to the punch.
I'll go. Nice, thanks for showing initiative, Yuri. Yes.
Yuri rushes over to the podium, clutching a sheet of paper in her hands.
This poem's called...
Yuri freezes as she looks up at us.
You can do it, Yuri! It's called Afterimage of a Crimson Eye.
Yuri begins to recite her poem. Her voice is shaky at first, but the more she reads, the more confident she becomes. It's similar to what happens when she gets absorbed in her books. The shy and apprehensive Yuri I'm used to is replaced by a fierce and confident woman. The poem itself is like a maze in its structure, with twists and turns every line. But Yuri is unfazed and enunciates each word with perfect timing. This must be a rare glimpse into the whirling fire Yuri keeps concealed inside her head. Suddenly she's finished. Everyone is stunned. Yuri snaps back to reality and glances around her as if she bewildered even herself. Monika's the first to start applauding. Sheepishly I follow along, and soon enough the clubroom is filled with the sound of applause. By up to 3 people. Yuri ducks her head in embarrassment, a shy smile creeping over her face.
Yuri, that was really good. Like I said, you don't have anything to worry about. Thank you for sharing.
Thanks. Guess Yuri's done for the day.
So, who'd like to go next? Natsuki?
Huh! Why should I go before Code? It's not like I can compare to you guys anyway. Might as well let Code lower everyone's standards before I go.
Natsuki?
Monika hastens to chastise her, shooting me a sympathizing look.
It was kind of rude, don't you think? You should apologize to Code.
Natsuki's face turns red as the girls all turn to look at her. I decide to spare Natsuki from the embarrassment. Hey, it's really no big deal. I'll end up going at some point anyway, might as well do it now. Thing is, I don't have much of a selection to choose from. I'll just have to go with what I wrote for today. I stand up and step in front of the podium. Everyone has their eyes on me, making me feel terribly awkward. I take a deep breath. In my head, I repeat to myself the advice Monika gave to Sayori. Try to imagine you're alone, like you're reciting it to yourself. Alone. My house is the first thing that comes to mind when I think of being alone. The scene rapidly develops in my head, like I am recalling a recent memory. I'm sitting alone at my desk. The dim light hanging from the ceiling gives me warmth. Gives a warmth to the room. Oh, we're gonna get backstory on our main character? Is this actually happening? Are you actually getting backstory of some sort? In front of me is the poem I had just finished, the ink from my pen still fresh on the page. I pick up the notebook and begin reciting it out loud. While I'm not the most confident in it, I still try and put energy into it. Alright, no backstory, just seemed like set up for backstory. I don't know what I was expecting, honestly. I doubt we're ever gonna get some kind of backstory on the main character other than the fact that we're childhood friends with Sayori. I can almost hear my voice echoing off my bedroom walls. As I finish, the sound of applause pulls me out of my daydream. I'm back in the clubroom, standing at the podium, while the girls politely applaud my performance.
That was good, Code.
I guess.
Oh, don't be so hard on yourself. I don't think it's your writing abilities, but rather your lack of confidence that weighs you down. That's something that'll improve over time, though, so don't worry.
Yeah, okay. Thanks.
Alright then. That just leaves you, Natsuki.
Yeah, I'm going. As she says this, Natsuki begrudgingly gets out of her seat and makes her way to the podium. The poem is called... It's called... Alright, and judging by the time, we're almost 1.5 hours in. So I'm probably gonna end it once the day is over. Or actually not once the day is over. We're gonna write the poem for the next day, but we're not gonna actually start the next day properly. I think that's a good place to end it in that case, so let's keep going until then. It's called... Stop looking at me!
But you're presenting.
Huh! You don't have to stare straight into my soul, though. She takes a moment to compose herself. Anyway, the poem's called Jump. Natsuki takes a breath. While her voice is unenthusiastic, the poem has a surprising amount of energy to it. The rhymes tie into each other seamlessly, creating a flow that moves the poem along at a brisk pace. The words seem to bounce up and down with the rhythm, seemingly making the poem come to life. It's Natsuki's signature style, and it works exceptionally well when read out loud. She quickly finishes and huffs as she makes her way back to her seat while we applaud her.
That wasn't so bad, was it?
She stares at her poem blankly for a second before replying. Easy for you to say? You better not make me do that again.
Well, that's what we're gonna be doing at the festival, so do you at least feel confident enough to do it in front of the crowd?
I guess? It's not like there's any other choice. And I guess it'll be easier doing it in front of other people. I can just put on whatever face I want with strangers. I don't care what they think about me. But when it's just my friends, it's just embarrassing. I still hate the idea that we have to perform. She mutters that last sentence under her breath. The others probably didn't even hear it. Alright, I know I didn't exactly mutter that sentence, but when it comes to each of these characters, I can only do their voices in one specific volume, pretty much. So I can't yell or whisper in anyone's voice, I think, because I feel like I would lose their voice very quickly. I knew Natsuki was stubborn, but this is a whole nother level. However, it does look like she's going along with the idea of performing for the festival. Well, at least for now, since she's basically outvoted and can't come up with another idea anyway. Really? That's a surprise. For me, it's the other way around. Having all those people looking at you, judging you? Ah, I don't want to think about it. I can relate to that. Yuri murmurs quietly. The thought of so many eyes observing your every move all at once. She trails off, shaking her head. Well, that's just how it is, so... Natsuki sighs in frustration. Well, if that's the case, in that case, you won't have much to worry about for the festival. Speaking of which, I want to thank you all for performing. It might be difficult, but now we have a general idea of what it'll be like. We'll be able to prepare ourselves. Make sure you pick out a poem and show it to me by tomorrow, okay? I need to know so I can make pamphlets over the weekend. I should probably find a different poem to recite. I know you prefer if we used our own poetry, but I'm probably going to pick a poem from a poet I like or something. Whatever makes you feel comfortable, Code. I'm already pleasantly surprised that you're putting all this effort into the club. Lower expectations, huh? More like any effort put in makes me happy in general. Monika smiles at me and then turns to smile at everyone else. That goes for everyone here. Thanks for going along with these last-minute plans. Anyway, I think that does it for today. Let's still try and write poems for tomorrow, okay? I know the festival's coming up, but it's been working out nicely for the past few days, and I'd like to continue. Tomorrow we'll finalize who's doing what for the festival, and we'll have the weekend to prepare. Remember, we have till Monday. It'll be so much fun, I can't wait! We all stand up, packing away our things, however Monika's voice stops us. Oh, and guys? She pauses, twirling a strand of her hair in her hand. This club truly does mean so much to me, and I really appreciate what you're willing to do for it. You guys are the best. In typical fashion, Natsuki rolls her eyes, Yuri smiles timidly, while Sayori wears a hearty smile. Let's just get it over with. I hope we don't regret this. That's okay, Monika. Nothing to thank us for. We really appreciate what you've made for us. I can't help but catch Yuri muttering under her breath after she says this. I can do this. I can do this. Yeah, I love it here. We all get to spread this cozy little place to other people. Yeah, it's so good, Monika. Alright, stand up and grab my bag. While I'm certainly not as enthusiastic as Monika or Sayori about the festival, I can pull that little daydream stunt again, and I think it'll be alright. It's for the sake of the club, not to mention impressing the girls. Once I'm fully packed up, I walk over to Sayori. Ready to go? Yep. Jeez, don't you ever get tired of always walking home with Code, Sayori? Yeah, what's that supposed to mean? Oh, don't mind her. You guys are more adorable than anything. Alright, alright. No need to make such a big deal out of it. Must be a little nice, though. Yeah, I guess. Ah, jeez. Let's just go, Sayori. Okay. The two of us begin the walk home. A lot has changed in the past few days. Lost in thought, I don't even notice how quiet Sayori's being until we're almost back home. There's a lot going on in the club now, eh? I bet you're thinking about all your new vice president duties that you'll have to deal with when the club grows bigger. Eh? Ah, yeah. Anything specific on your mind? Not really. Sorry, did you want to talk? I mean, we don't have to if you're thinking about stuff. No, it's nice talking to you. I was thinking about something from earlier. It's nice that we, never mind, it's nothing. You're sounding a little like Yuri right now. Huh? Yeah. Well, I guess I just have a question for you, Code. What's up? Sari clears her throat before speaking. There we go, the question is coming. Oh no, it's happening. I'm gonna have to answer that I'll prefer Yuri, because I'm gonna be honest here. Don't wanna get her hopes up. But please don't tell me she commits suicide again, no. I hope she doesn't.
So let's just say that one day Yuri asked to walk home with you.
Huh?
What would you do?
What kind of question is that? You're kind of putting me on the spot here. Well, yeah, being honest is the best path here. Please, Sayori, tell me you don't kill yourself this time. Don't kill yourself, please. I don't want to see it again. It was horrible enough the first time around. Walking home with Yuri, huh? Why does the thought of that make my heart pound? I mean, given how hard it is for her to socialize, I would feel really awful turning her down, so...
Isn't she so beautiful and smart?
That has nothing to do with what I just said.
You admitted it.
Jeez. There's not even any point in speculating something that's never going to happen.
Well, maybe. But I just like to think about it. Don't you think that maybe she'd be more fun to walk home with?
I frown. Where did this come from? What? I mean, it could be interesting, I guess. But even if I did walk home with her, it's not like she'd be replacing you or anything. Everyone is different. Nobody in the club is a replacement for you.
If you say so.
The conversation trails off, and I'm left feeling awkward. But it was kind of her fault for trapping me with such a weird question. I can't just lie to her. But if there's something that makes her happy, I would hate to take it away from her. That's why I said there's no point in speculating. Suri and I part ways without saying another word. I reach my house and open the door. I'm home. No response. I'm alone as usual. I mumble that part to myself. Talking to myself as if I'm the protagonist of a manga or a game. Must be going stir crazy. Mom is still Mom is still out on her business trip. She's never home anymore. I miss her. But I don't blame her for anything. It's hard enough providing for yourself, let alone a kid. Since I'm alone, I decide to make an instant meal for dinner. Digging through my cabinets, I find some old soup cups. Miso soup sounds good. I unwrap the packaging, pour in some water and place the meal in the microwave. While it cooks, my mind wanders back to my performance earlier. That daydream was so vivid, so realistic. Can I really pull off that performance again, but this time in front of a crowd? It wasn't even that great in the first place. Just doing it in front of the girls was nerve-wracking. Guess I'm not really used to being around people again. Maybe that's it. Thinking about it, I guess I've kind of been subconsciously isolating myself from people ever since the divorce. Before it even in some cases. I wonder when I started shunning myself. Maybe that's part of why Sayori and I drifted apart over the past few years. It wasn't intentional or anything, it just happened. At least I don't think it was intentional. But I'm glad I got to reconnect with her in the literature club. It's given me something to do, something to look forward to that isn't anime or video games. Talking with other girls has made me feel more appreciated. It's a nice feeling, something that's been missing from me ever since the divorce. Maybe that's why Sayori likes walking home with me. It makes her feel appreciated. Sayori. The more I think about it, the more concerned for her I get. She's had some pretty weird stuff, but I guess people just have their off days. Maybe she's just changed a little over the years. Pretty normal, right? I'd like to think I'd be able to tell if something was up with her. Although, given our recent distance, I'm not so sure. Sure, we've started talking again, but there's a lot of lost time. Maybe that'll change and we'll go back to how we used to be. I hope. There we go. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it quits after writing this poem. So, since we're approaching the end, I want to say this again to everyone on stream right now and to the people watching this on YouTube once it gets uploaded. Once again, thank you for the completely unexpected hype over my most recent video. I really didn't expect to get over 100 views within a day on one video. It just completely blew me away, and I just have to address this again now at the end of the stream. Because getting that many views in a single day, when I usually have to get lucky to even get double digits in the views, I think it's pretty much, I mean, you know, it's unexpected. And you know that those kind of things make a person very happy. It makes me very happy. I think that much is obvious, right? I mean, think about it. If you upload videos and get maybe sometimes above slightly more than 10 views, maybe even if you're maybe even 20 if you're lucky, and then one day you just get over 100 views for a video in a single day, and it just completely blew me away. I just had to address this right now. So yeah, once again, thank you everyone for checking that out. I doubt anyone who watched that video is here right now, but just in case some of the people who watched it are sticking around, I appreciate it. I really do. Alright, let's keep writing this poem for a bit more. I don't think I'm a legend. I think I just got lucky with the algorithm or something. Maybe. I don't think I'm any good. Let's just be honest here. I'm just another VTuber. There are so many of us popping up right now. Oh, sorry, that was Sayori. Well, maybe it's good that I'm getting some stuff that Sayori likes as well. Maybe that'll keep her from killing herself. I hope. Damn it. Photograph? Damn it! Oh no! Oh no! I'm messing up. Fantasy. Ah! Starscape. There we go. Finally. Okay, think. Nah? What nah? No, seriously. I think I just got lucky with that one video. Compared to any of my other videos, and you know what I mean. It's definitely not the quality of my videos that would attract viewers in any way. And on Twitch, I mean, then again, I guess I did kind of have a little bit more of an active chat this time around. Maybe that's partially because you're back right now, which once again I appreciate. But having someone who helped work on the game actually show up was also something I never expected. So right now things are really going my way. I really don't think I deserve it, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Let's see here. That's gonna be for her, yeah. Incongruent. There we go. There's some nice words. There's some nice words. Uncontrollable. Imagination. Contamination. There we go. That should be perfect for Yuri. Alright, so as I've said, we've written the poem. I think it's time I just save my game right now. I'm gonna save it in a separate slot just in case. And I'm gonna call it quits here. Now this stream, normally I stream for about 2 to 3 hours, but I've thought about stuff and maybe I should cut back on it a little bit and just not stream as long anymore. Maybe if I make my streams a little bit shorter, I can ensure that maybe they're gonna be a little bit more high quality. Not that that's gonna change anything, let's be honest. But usually for longer streams, I feel like usually after a while it's just kind of tiring. Also, maybe keeping my streams a little bit shorter will ensure that I'm not getting headaches again so soon. I don't think that has anything to do with why I got the headaches in the first place, but they were pretty much consistent and I got them very frequently during my streams as well. So yeah, I feel like I'm gonna keep my streams a little bit shorter from now on, but I do still plan to stream fairly regularly. So again, thank you very much for watching. And next time, what are we gonna do next time? I'm not sure. Maybe I am kinda lucky today. Yeah? Maybe I am. I mean, just, as I've said, just the amazing luck I got with... I don't know. I don't know if it's... I'm certainly happy how everything turned out. So yeah, I'm gonna end the stream here. Next time I stream, I'm probably gonna have selected something from the list I put up on the most recent video, or alternatively, I might have looked up some horror games. One of the two. Either I'm gonna have chosen one from the list, or I'm gonna have looked up a horror game. One of the two, I don't know which it's gonna be. I guess you gotta look forward to that. So next stream probably gonna be the day after tomorrow, as always. There's always some... I'm actually very happy that I kind of got a somewhat decent schedule up. There's always something every day. Either a stream, or the upload of this, or the YouTube upload of the previous stream, or sometimes even an original video. So I'm kind of still... I also still can't believe it that I was able to keep up the schedule so well. And yeah, see you at some point then. I'm not a banana. I'm not banana 420. My YouTube should be linked on the Twitch, on my Twitch. There should be a link to my YouTube page. And it's the same username, so shouldn't be too hard to find. But as I've said, it's mainly uploads from Twitch. Mainly Twitch uploads, and that's it. So nothing too special. Oh, and now I remember. I put this curse upon myself, but I'm gonna have to write some sort of short poem to put in the description for this upload. I've put this curse upon myself, and I've decided. If you look at the previous, if you look at the upload of the previous Doki Doki stream, you'll notice that I actually tried to write a short poem in the description, and now I'm gonna have to keep this up. I have absolutely cursed myself, but I think I can do it. Just think of something. That's it. So yeah, now I'm rambling again. I probably should just end the stream. Once again, thank you for watching, and yeah, I guess I hopefully will see you next time then. Bye!